If you pay attention to awards chatter, you've probably been hearing about Armageddon Time. It's a coming-of-age film about family, friendship, and living the American dream in the 1980s. It stars Anthony Hopkins along with Anne Hathaway and Jeremy Strong, who play Esther and Irving Graff. Take a look.
I think I want to be an artist when I grow up.
You're going to college.
How dare you! I'll menace to you!
Well, you're not to associate with him again.
What do you mean? Why?
I think you know what I mean.
My parents are sending me to my brother's school.
That's heavy.
Something's bugging you. What is it?
Sometimes kids say bad words about the black kids.
What do you do when that happens?
Obviously nothing, of course.
You think that's smart?
This movie, your portrayals felt so real. There is no wasted moment or dialogue. With that said, what is something that you appreciate and love about this story and getting to be a part of telling it?
On some level, you become some version of a family with every film that you do. But on this one, like, we wrapped and we never stopped. Like, we all just texted each other the next day, and we've stayed in very, very, very close contact. And we're really, really involved in each other's lives. And so for me now, it's become a little hard to separate from the film from my film family, if you know what I mean.
That's awesome. What about you, Jeremy?
I really appreciate what you said. I mean, I think it is an honest film. I think I'd read something that James Gray said a few years ago, that he wanted to break down the wall between himself and his work and take a really unvarnished and, I think, courageous look at this moment in his life, and using this particular moment in his life as a lens through which to look at our country. But I applaud his honesty and the way he really kind of goes for the jugular with this movie.
I kept thinking about this film, Armageddon Time. So it's a recreation of the past as James Gray, the director, he remembers it, right? If I were to say, if there was a time or a moment in your lives that you could revisit, that you could recreate by the magic of movies or just for you, like, what do you think of right away when I say that? Anne, I see you smiling.
Yes, I'm thinking of my grandmother's porch.
Oh,
In Cape May, New Jersey. Would have probably been 1986, maybe right around then. I don't think it'd be a very interesting movie, but it would make me very happy.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Jeremy, what about you, hon?
Well, the truth is, I think because we're here talking about this, and it was part of my experience of making this, I spent a few summers living in my grandfather's basement in Flushing. And he was a plumber, and he lived in Queens, and there's a lot of him in this role and in this movie for me. And working on this movie was a way of kind of rediscovering that time.
And when I say you're in a movie with Anthony Hopkins, you say,
Thank you.
Wow.
channeling Esther and Irving. Why should everyone go see Armageddon Time when it hits theaters on October 28th and nationwide November 4th?
I think everybody, I don't feel this about every film that I make, but I think actually this one should be seen on the big screen, because it's a film that it's not afraid to make you uncomfortable. In fact, it's a film that you probably will feel uncomfortable at. And I don't think you should be in the comforts of your own home. I think that you should very intentionally go to a movie theater, turn your phone off, sit in a seat that was not designed for you, that you didn't choose, cut yourself off from the outside world, and let yourself get transported. And then really think about what this film's about, and potentially even have a conversation with a stranger afterwards about what you just saw. I think this is the sort of film where you should do that.
Let's just make sure that we tell everybody you can catch Armageddon Time in select theaters October 28th and nationwide November 4th.